Well, first I think you answer the question of what is a CFO, and a CFO is somebody that takes full ownership of the finance function of any organization, mainly a business. Whether you need a part-time CFO or a full-time CFO will just depend on the needs of your business. I think a lot of times when we talk about fractional or part-time CFO, it's because a business can't afford a full-time CFO. And I would flip that on its head a little bit and say that sometimes people have a full-time CFO when they don't need one. When you need to bring in an outside CFO has a lot more to do with what you're trying to accomplish and the complexity of it. In my experience, when you start to think you might need one, you probably do need one. And that person is there to achieve an outcome. It might be operational and financial intelligence so we can make better decisions as we're going. You have to look at how are we going to measure how we're doing. They have to make sure that there's enough capital to operate. They have to be able to raise capital. They have to be a salesperson. The CFO has to take that baton and keep that process going forward and be very persuasive, but also do it with information. If I told you that you don't have to pay the full mortgage on your house this month, you only have to pay for the hours you're inside the house, you would say, that sounds great, right? I'll do that. And I think same concept can go with the CFO is it's an expensive position. It should be a very targeted position. It shouldn't be a maintenance position that is just kind of overlooking things. It should be that when the CFO is working, they're driving value, they're driving things forward. So when you're thinking about return on investment for a CFO, my personal opinion is that the CFO should be taking you through that process anyway when you're deciding whether to bring them on. If you're trying to get from one place to another that involves maybe raising some capital or doing some management of a bank debt or a big hiring effort where you might be bringing on double the amount of employees you have now, we're going to point those out as critical areas that are going to need attention.